On the hour, rugbyleague.com news. Brought to you by Thomson Reuters, the global leader for news.
Coming up, losing streak for Bennett's Bunnies continues thanks to Cronulla after Penrith make it 7 straight. A desperate Gold Coast upset the Warriors in game number 500 for Des Hasler. And Super League on its way back to Paris as Wigan do enough to beat the Dragons. But first up, for the first time in his illustrious NRL coaching career, Wayne Bennett has suffered 8 consecutive losses. It happened at Gosford in the final game of Super Saturday, with Cronulla forced to dig deep to beat Bennett's injury-riddled Rabbitohs 14 points to 12. That was after the battling Bunnies led 6-2 at half-time. At CommBank Stadium, the Panthers gave the Tigers a 36-2 flogging, Penrith up 18-2 at the break, after the Tigers opened the scoring. That's now 7 straight wins for the 4-time defending premiers. And at Go Media Stadium in Auckland, a major upset. Basement side Gold Coast 24-16 winners over the Warriors. The match marking Des Hasler's 500th game as a coach, and the result boosting the Titans' hopes of avoiding the wooden spoon. In the NRLW, in Townsville, the Cowboys defeated Canberra 26-blot. At Allianz Stadium, the Roosters overcame the Bulldogs 42-22. And in Auckland, the Gold Coast defeated the Warriors 20 points to 10. In the Queensland Cup at Augathala in southwestern Queensland, the hometown of the late Danny Peacock, Norths beat winner Manly 16-8. At Emerald in the Central Highlands, 20-all between the Clydesdales and the Capras. In the North's historic gold mining city of Charters Towers, South Logan defeated Townsville 38-20. At Yarrabah in the far north, Burleigh Bears 28-22 over the Northern Pride. In the Wide Bay Burnett citrus town of Gayndah, the Sunshine Coast beat Tweed 24-12. And in the central Queensland coal mining town of Moranbah, Brisbane Tigers 26-12 over the Mackay Cutters. In the New South Wales Cup at Henson Park, Newtown knocked over the Dragons 40 points to 16. At CommBank, Manly upstaged Penrith 40 points to 34. And at Go Media, the Warriors crushed South Sydney 68-6 to make it 14 on the trot for the Wars. And recapping the Friday night result, Western Suburbs securing the Jason Taylor Cup with a 24-22 win at North Sydney Oval. In the Ron Massey Cup, it was magic round, all games played at St Mary's in Sydney's West. Glebe slaughtered Blacktown 62 points to 6. Penrith Brothers 32-26 over Hills Bulls. Wenty defeated Mounties 18-12. And St Mary's wiped out Canterbury Bankstown 57 points to 4. Back across the Tasman in the final round of the Auckland Rugby League's Fox Memorial, none of the visiting teams won. Richmond 46-24 over Ponsonby. Papakura beat Marist Saints 22-16. Bay Roskill 44-18 over Te Atatu. Otahuhu accounted for Mount Albert 26-4 and 18-all between Point Chev and Manukau at Walker Park. In PNG's Digicel ExxonMobil Cup up at Minge in the Highlands, Port Moresby Vipers defeated the Wagi Tumbe 14 points to 4. And at Rabal's Queen Elizabeth Park, the E&B Gurias 42-20 winners over the Gulf ESO. In the north of England, just the one Friday night game in Super League, Wigan defeated Catalan 28 points to 18. At the break, it was 16 zip to the Warriors. And that game played after confirmation that the two teams will go head-to-head in Paris on June 6 next year. In the Championship, York won 19 points to 6 at Halifax after the locals led 6-0 at the break. And finally, in the women's game, Warrington coach Jed Ginty has been suspended by the RFL after being involved in a slanging match on social media with Wigan player Grace Banks. I'm Jason Costigan, and that's the latest in news on rugbyleague.com.